Now that we've seen some of the basic out-of-the-box features for providing localizations and translations, let's take a look at some of the advanced things that you can do as well. Now, full disclosure, in this particular video, this may include things that you are not directly responsible for as someone who may be a content writer or a content manager, but your developers can take advantage of some of these features to provide more advanced options, like targeting content towards a user based off of their region, as well as things like their language. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look. We've already talked about the concept of the application display template, and in an application display template, just like a web content template, we have the ability to use FreeMarker. Now, I've mentioned already that FreeMarker has the ability to reference Liferay's API, and this is where we have our ability to do some of these advanced things. So let's look at a quick example of what this might look like in code. So here, what we have is a basic FreeMarker template where we can assign variables that are using some of Liferay's API at the very top, and then we can build a basic structure. So we have a title section, an if-else statement here, and we have some structure information here as well. Anytime you see the getData method, that is referencing a web content structure. All right, so this is a basic example that gives us a basic structure that we might see for a web content template. If we wanted to use the power of FreeMarker to do some more advanced examples in either our web content templates or our application display templates, we can just take advantage of some of the other aspects of the API, such as the method used to grab a particular locale. Okay, so this is an example of a FreeMarker template that is using the serviceLocator to get information about categories from our assets, documents, web content, that's going to be the journal article local service, as well as the actual language. Okay, and by getting all of these things, we can start filtering by this information in the actual logic of the code itself. Now, it's important to note whether you are directly writing this code or you are responsible for just understanding what's available on the platform. If you want to use the serviceLocator variable, which allows us access to this kind of information, it actually needs to be unrestricted. And the reason it needs to be unrestricted is because by default, it is restricted on the platform so that in general, template developers do not have access to some of the database information. With the proper permissions and security set up, you can have this unlocked and you can get that information and use that information for more advanced filtering in the templates like we've seen here. Okay, this can be done in the portal.exe.properties if you have one on the platform, or through the system settings on the platform itself as well. So in the control panel, system settings, and then template engines, what you can do is you can search for the FreeMarker variables and remove the serviceLocator from the restricted variables. Now, in some cases, this is not something that you want to do. This does add some risk if you do not have the proper permissions and things set up. As like I mentioned, those who have the ability to write templates can access some database information. So it's important to consider your options thoroughly if this is the direction you want to go with templates. Now remember, backend developers can create modules that does this kind of thing as well, but that might take a little bit more than just writing a template and using that to display some content based off of some of this information. Okay? All right, so let's look at another code example here. Now what this is doing is it is giving us a couple of variables at the top. For the asset renderer, that's just how we can get the asset information, and show resource, which is looking for categories as well as language. And these again are retrieved using the serviceLocator. And then we have basically a big if-else-if structure that essentially allows us to display certain documents and certain web content based off of categories and language. So again, this might not be your direct responsibility to write this code, but it's good to know that this is an additional way of doing some additional filtering based off of things like language or region. If you're looking to show, let's say, certain press releases to the European public or certain press releases to the Southeast Asian public or something along those lines, you can do further development through templates and modules as well to determine what content should display by language. All right, so let's just go ahead and recap here. Because our templates on the platform, our FreeMarker templates, have the ability to access some of Liferay's API. We have the ability to access certain information, especially if we have the service locator unlocked. That can allow us to be more targeted with our content to those in specific regions or languages, and we can build some of the templates to display content accordingly. All right, so definitely take advantage of some of those out-of-the-box features, and if you need to, you have some advanced work as well. All right, in the next chapter, we're going to go ahead and take a look at search. So I'll see you there.